There is an emerging consensus that nations and corporations that fail to understand this imperative will lose competitive advantage, while those that grasp the new opportunities it offers will prosper. Australia is well on track to losing competitive advantage, not because we're not blessed with fantastic natural advantages, not because we don't work hard or because we have not got the capacity to be different, but because we fail to grasp that imperative and that opportunity. As Albert Einstein said, the world will not evolve past its current state of crisis by using the same thinking that created the situation. We know we need to change. We're materially better off than generations have gone before, but is the price worth it? We're already living the rat race that people who fought for and won the 8-hour day would not believe possible. We've given up weekends in the name of productivity and efficiency. We have to work harder and longer for bigger houses full of stuff that we do not need and which is literally costing us the earth. Our children have to work to get themselves through university and are then saddled with HECS debts. And our aged are lonely and under-supported, with families who have little time to visit or care for them. How fair or sensible is it for people to go to bed with their mobile phones and be required to be available 18 hours a day? Tired people are unhappy people, yet so many adults and children go to work and school in the dark and get home in the dark, having wasted 4 hours or more in traffic jams. How many of us do not know our neighbours and have no time to walk anywhere or grow anything in our gardens? How many of us can offer to do community voluntary work or play amateur sport or engage and be part of the local community? We live day to day with a nagging uneasiness about living in a rich society where many are poor, homeless and sick. How many of us buy our families more consumer goods to make up for the time that we cannot spend with them? How many of us regret that the fruit and vegetables come from all over the world when local farmers are struggling to survive? How many people, when asked, answer that what would make them happy is more time? The treadmill seems inescapable, but the surplus generated by the resources boom has given us a one-off opportunity to change, and global warming and oil depletion make it impossible not to do so. Australia has a choice. All that's holding us back is the lack of imagination and the political will to change. What needed to happen in the budget was for the government to fund a vision for transformation, but instead it squandered both the opportunity and the surplus in tax cuts, reduced services and slashed research. Whilst there are education, health and infrastructure funds, there is no climate fund with nothing for disaster readiness. We've spent $10 billion on counter-terrorism since September the 11th, but only $500 million on emergency relief capability. We are not immune in Australia from massive natural disaster caused by climate change. As one of the wealthiest countries in the region, Australia should establish a global disaster relief centre to coordinate civil and military aid responses to disasters like cyclones, floods, bushfires, earthquakes and tsunamis at home and abroad. Imagine how we'd be feeling today if we had a real vision for a sustainable future such as that painted by the Greens. Imagine if the Prime Minister, through his Treasurer, had said what a Greens Prime Minister would say. Here is what we would have heard. We as a world and a nation are living beyond our ecological limits and are suffering global warming and oil depletion. Our land is sick, and in spite of our surpluses, in spite of being materially better off than our forebears, we're not as healthy or happy as we could be. We need to aim for a higher quality of life, to be happier, healthier and more fulfilled, with greater environmental, social and economic resilience in the face of the challenges before us. It's time to face up to climate change, time to embark on a great new Australian initiative. It's time to make imagination Australia's natural resource of the future. We must reconcile our humanity with our economics. We need transformation, a wave of environmental, social, technical and economic innovation that will touch every person, community and institution, such that we change from a resource economy to a knowledge economy, living in harmony with the land, rediscovering our connection to life, and we need it urgently. To that end, my government, with your help, will make imagination the resource of the future. We'll make Australia sustainable by 2020, ecologically, socially and economically sustainable by 2020. We've delivered a transformative, enabling budget that can make it happen. To reach our goal of sustainability, we'll need every one of us to bring to the task all the brain power, innovation, creativity and nation-building capacity we can muster. We've designed a budget strategy that by 2020 will 1. Deliver all of Australia's electricity from renewables. 2. Maximise the energy efficiency to all of the nation's businesses and industries and homes. 3. Heal our country by ending the logging of the remaining native forests and clearing of savannas, restoring and building resilience in ecosystems and maintaining the carbon they store. Redesigning and revitalising Australia's cities into urban villages linked by rapid mass transit and cycleways. And 5. Produce more of our own food sustainably. To do this, we need a healthy society and a well-educated one. We need to increase our spending on education, research and innovation at every level, from schools to TAFE colleges, universities and research institutions. We need free public preschool for all children, 12,000 new teachers, a 50% increase in capital and maintenance investment and a rise in teachers' salaries. We need to make teachers, especially in the TAFE system, permanent again. A knowledge nation values its teachers even more than it values its sports stars or celebrities. After a decade of denigrating public schools, we need a national empowering public schools program to encourage and resource excellence and promote enrolment in local schools. Local schools strengthen local communities